Twice a week, a small group of men inside San Quentin State Prison get together and practice hula. But not the touristy stuff you're probably thinking of. This is the cultural practice of hula, which is actually more like a moving meditation than a dance. And for a few inmates, it's helping in their rehabilitation.
So Kumu comes in and he's like, yeah, all right, guys, so get ready, I'm gonna teach you hula. And we was like, hula?
Upu Ama was one of those men in the hula classes. He served a long sentence inside San Quentin.
I served 24 years for murder.
Patrick Makuakane was his teacher.
That's the only answer there is in class. Yes.
He was like always there and very into making things happen, wanted to be a better dancer.
I liked it. I liked what how it empowered me, the chants that Kumu taught us.
Upu calls him Kumu, the Hawaiian word for teacher.
They talk a lot, they're rambunctious, and they love to laugh at each other when someone makes a mistake.
Pre-hula, I was a very dark person, man. I gave myself permission to just do some, like I said, some terrible things. I gotta live with that. But today, hopefully, that's not who I am today.
Who he is today is a man who credits hula for his transformation.
But hula kind of really springboarded for me. Like I said, I think had I not found myself spiritually, I still would be searching.
Upu was released on parole in September of 2017. At first glance, a prison might be the last place you'd think hula would fit. And especially so in San Quentin, which has a reputation for being very tough. And hula, well, it does not have a masculine reputation.
That type of movement in prison really don't, it doesn't look good, but I'm glad that we reached in ourselves to overcome that.
Patrick says hula forced the men to be more vulnerable, which is something you typically don't want to be in prison.
Being a man, especially a man in prison, your masculinity is everything. That's who you are. You don't want anybody giving you a problem, and the way you shut that down is presenting yourself as a tough guy.
It makes us learn something that we're not used to, and we're doing that together as a unit. And I think that breaks down a lot of the cultural barriers.
But here's the thing. They don't just offer dance classes at San Quentin. This is classified as a religious and spiritual practice.
My official title is spiritual advisor, and I don't teach classes, I actually conduct service.
That's an important distinction because it's the whole reason why hula is even allowed in San Quentin. The American Indian Religious Freedom Act, a federal act from 1978, allows all Native Americans and Native Hawaiians the right to practice their rituals freely. The hula classes in San Quentin are operating under this act. And anyone in San Quentin can participate. It's not just for Native Hawaiians.
Right now, there really isn't a Native Hawaiian in the group. They're island-centric, so Samoan, maybe Tongan, or Vietnamese, Filipino.
So what is it about hula that makes it a spiritual practice instead of just a kitschy dance for tourists?
It is the physical embodiment of prayer and poetry.
Mahialani Uchiyama is another highly respected kumu hula in the Bay Area. And she says at its core, hula is really a moving meditation that values community above all else.
And a means of cataloging and relating to the natural environment that we all belong to.
Think of it like this. The Hawaiians didn't have a written language until the 19th century. So hula was their way of cataloging their ancestry, their connections to each other, to the earth, the air, down to every grain of sand.
It feels like home. It feels like I belong.
Well, I took away a deep sense of connection with my ancestors that helped me tremendously spiritually.